And we move to the next stanza, where the knight tells the narrator, I set her on my pacing steed, and nothing else saw all day long. For sidelong would she bend and sing a fairy's song. So here we can clearly see that that it is love at first sight. The moment the knight looks at her, he falls in love with her, and then he makes a garland for her, and she reciprocates his love. And then the knight picks her up and takes her along with him. So, setting her on my pacing steed. Pacing, speeding, and steed is an old word, old usage for horse. Okay, and nothing else so all day long. So the knight is so enamored of her. He is so preoccupied with her. He is so fascinated by her that it is as if everything around him has disappeared and he exists only with her, right? And he is mesmerized by the song that she's singing. If you notice, the word fairy has been spelled differently because that's perhaps the old way the word was spelled. Well, let's look at the next stanza now. She found me roots of relish sweet, and honey wild and manna dew. And sure in language strange she said, I love thee true. So here it's evident that the knight is unable to understand her language, but he can understand the emotion behind what she's saying. So she's speaking in a strange language. That's what the knight says, which means it's an alien tongue, it's a foreign language. But he's sure that she was expressing his love for him, right? And she was trying to tell him that how truly she loved him. And she seemed to be a child of the forest, the way she could procure food. So she found him roots which he could eat, and she took him to exotic honey. Where he could drink honey and manna dew, right? So these are exotic and rare items which only people who are very well acquainted with the forest can find. She took me to her elfin grot, and there she wept and sighed full sore. And there I shut her wild, wild eyes with kisses four. So after that, the knight proceeds to where she dwells, where she lives, and that's an elfin grot. Now it's interesting because her house is also in sync with the kind of creature she is. She's obviously not fully human. She's half human, half fairy like maybe, and she lives in an elfin grot. Now, elf is also a kind of a different kind of a creature who is not human. Elves are found in fairy tales. So she lives in an elfin grot. And there again, once she leads the knight to her dwelling place, there also she expresses her love for him. And then they become more intimate, right? And the knight is completely lost in her love. And what follows that? The knight says, and there she lulled me asleep. And there I dreamed, ah, woe betide, the latest dream I ever dreamt on the cold hillside. So, what happens after the knight goes into her house? He falls asleep. Now, you can see very clearly over here that the knight is sleeping in her lap. She lulls him to sleep. That is, she sings a song for him, and he feels drowsy and he drifts into a sleep. And in his sleep, he has a dream. Ah, woe betide. So it is a nightmare. It's not a dream, it's a nightmare. And the kind of nightmare he has, that has kept him awake ever since. That was the last time he slept, because it's evident when he says the latest dream I ever dreamt, which means he has been awake since then on the cold hillside, and he's alone loitering in this desolate place.